Welcome to Starfleet Cinema, the show where we honor Star Trek talent contributions to non-Star Trek media. Today, for the first time, we take a look at a video game, or in this case, video game series, by beginning a two-part special look at the Metal Gear franchise. Beginning in 1987 with the original Metal Gear on the MSX2, a Japanese home computer, the franchise casts the player as a soldier who must use a combination of stealth and the up-close use of weapons to take down Metal Gear, a lineage of nuclear-equipped walking tanks. The franchise did not truly gain traction until the original Metal Gear Solid, officially the third game in the overall franchise, which was released on the original PlayStation in 1998. In 2024, and as part of franchise owner Konami's initiative to make these games available to owners of current generation video game hardware, the Master Collection series, bringing these games together under one banner, was born. For this two-part video, we will examine the Star Trek talent who contributed to these games. And since the Master Collections allow players to choose the language of the audio for the games they play, we will honor not just the English voices of these iconic characters, but the original Japanese ones as well. For this video, we will examine the voice talent who contributed to the games seen in Volume 1 of the Master Collection series, the aforementioned Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, released on the PlayStation 2 in 2001, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, released on the PlayStation 2 in 2004, and or who also portray those same or similar characters in the games of Master Collection Volume 2. For Part 2 of this video, which will be released closer to the release of Master Collection Volume 2 on August 27th of this year, we will examine the voice performers, again in both English and Japanese, who contributed only to the games in Volume 2. Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, released on the PlayStation 3 in 2008, and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, released on the PlayStation Portable in 2010. For a look at the entire in-universe story timeline of the Metal Gear franchise, I would recommend a video by YouTube channel The Leaderboard. You can find a link in the upper right-hand corner of your screen right now or in the description field below this video. With the preliminaries out of the way, let's get started. Previously profiled in the Day 6 episode of NeoBlisseyX versus the MGM Studios 31-Day Movie Challenge for his role as the Japanese voice of Batou in 1995's Ghost in the Shell, link in the upper right corner of your screen or in the description, Akio Otsuka provided the Japanese voices of the following characters in the Metal Gear Solid series. Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, Solidus Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and Naked Snake, later known as Big Boss, in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Previously profiled in our Starfleet Cinema episode on the Incredibles franchise for his voice role as Reflux in Incredibles 2, link in the upper right corner of your screen or in the description, and as mentioned in that episode, Paul Eiding portrayed the English voice of Colonel Roy Campbell in Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. Eiding also provided the voice of Roy Campbell to several of the various Game Over screens in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. These Game Over screens trigger whenever Naked Snake triggers a time paradox, by causing the death of a character with future significance to the Metal Gear historical timeline.
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Previously profiled in our Starfleet Cinema episode on Once Upon a Studio for her voice role as the title character from Disney's classic film Cinderella, link in the upper right corner of your screen or in the description, Jennifer Hale provided the English voices of Naomi Hunter in Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, and Emma Emmerich, stepsister of Hal Otacon Emmerich in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. In the time since Doug Stone's profile in the Day 6 episode of NeoBlisseyX versus the MGM Studios 31-Day Movie Challenge on 1995's Ghost in the Shell, for which he was profiled for his English voice role as Garbage Collector B, link in the description, we have discovered the proper biographical information on him. So, let's take it from the top. Born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on December 27, 1950, Doug Stone provided the English voice of Psycho Mantis in Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. For Star Trek, Stone provided the voices of Prelit Ungiven and Tloxic in the CD-ROM edition of the computer game Star Trek 25th Anniversary, and the voices of Sissisa, Jakesy, and Schiller in the CD-ROM edition of the computer game Star Trek Judgment Rights. Previously profiled in the videos in our NeoBlisseyX vs. Presents Starring Phil Lamar playlist, link in the description field below this video, Phil Lamar provided the English voice of Vamp in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. Born in New York City, New York, United States on June 13, 1968, Fred Tatasciore provided the voice of Lieutenant Shax in Star Trek Lower Decks. A full list of other characters he voiced can be found at the link in the pinned comment below. For the Metal Gear franchise, Tatasciore provided the English voice of the unnamed Department of Defense official in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and the English voice of the Beast form of the Beauty and the Beast unit in Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. Born in Tokyo, Japan on October 5, 1964, late actor Keiji Fujiwara provided the Japanese voice of Julian Bashir, as portrayed by Alexander Siddig on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. For the Metal Gear franchise, Fujiwara provided the Japanese voice of Sigint, the future Donald Anderson in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and Drebin 893 in Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. Fujiwara passed away of cancer in Tokyo on April 12, 2020 at the age of 55. From this point until the end of the video, we'll focus on those who only voiced characters in one game in Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. Born Isao Yamasaki in Tokyo, Japan on April 14, 1964, Takumi Yamasaki provided the Japanese voice of Rom, as portrayed by Max Grodenchik on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. For the Metal Gear franchise, Yamasaki provided the Japanese voice of the future Revolver Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Born in New York City, New York, United States on April 5, 1967, Tasia Valenza portrayed Tashanik in the first season Next Generation episode Coming of Age, and the voices of the USS Shenzhou and ISS Shenzhou computers on Star Trek Discovery. Billed under the name Julie Munro, Valenza provided the English voices of Sniper Wolf and the Shadow Moses Island computer in Metal Gear Solid. Did you know? Both of the actors who portrayed the character of Sergei Gurlukovich in Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty contributed to Star Trek. Well, it's true, and here's the proof. Born in New York City, New York, United States on August 8, 1941, late actor Earl Bowen portrayed Nagilum in the second season Next Generation episode Where Silence Has Lease. For Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Bowen provided the English voice of Sergei Gurlukovich. Bowen passed away in Honolulu, Hawaii, United States on January 5, 2023 at the age of 81. Earl Bowen's Japanese counterpart as Sergei Gurlukovich was Osamu Saka. Born in Osaka City, Osaka Prefecture, Japan on November 7, 1930, Saka provided the Japanese voice of Spock, voiced in English, of course, by Leonard Nimoy in Star Trek the Animated Series. Coincidentally, Saka provided the Japanese voice of Earl Bowen's Dr. Peter Silberman in the 1987 TV Asahi Japanese version of The Terminator, and the 1993 Fuji TV Japanese version of Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Born in Kita-Kyushu City, Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan, on August 26, 1937, late actor Kenji Utsumi was the second Japanese voice of Montgomery Scotty Scott, portrayed by James Doohan in Uchu Daisakusen, or as we in English-speaking countries call it, Star Trek: The Original Series. For Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, Utsumi provided the Japanese voice of Yevgeny Borisovich Volgin. Utsumi passed away of peritoneal cancer in Shinjuku City, Tokyo, Japan on June 13, 2013 at the age of 75. Previously profiled in our video NeoBlisseyX presents Gargoyles vs. Star Trek 30 Years Later, and our Starfleet Cinema episode on the Transformers the Movie, links in the description field below this video. Michael Bell provided the English voice of The Fear in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Join us next time for a Starfleet Cinema look at the games of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Until then, take care and live long and prosper.